Look right here, a little bit of dirt there, so I'm going to put that out here real quick. I'll get the rest of that later. And I'm going to put that right under there. Next, I already have a K&N oil filter, excuse me. And it has a little nut on it, which can make it easy to get on there. The stock oil filter was actually quite a bit of a bear to get off. I had to use a different oil filter wrench. But if it's your first time doing this, I suggest you go get one of these. This is a oil filter wrench. And it clamps right on there. A little bit easier from this direction. You can see, but anyway, you get the idea. It makes it a little bit easier to get some torque on it to get off. This shouldn't be too bad because, you know, I didn't, monkey strength it on there. So, but I can actually use a bring my tools over here. I think it's a 12 millimeter, but it could be wrong. Yep, it is 12 millimeter for the drain here. Put it on. And it's off. Well, it's not off, but it's broken loose. Putting the camera here, like my awesome shoes. So these are my all-around work and wash the bike shoes. So anyway, I'm gonna unscrew this, and I'm probably gonna get it on. Oh, barely got it on my fingers. And the oil just kind of pisses out here. And since this is my second oil change, I only have about just a little over 2,400 miles on the bike. And for the first oil change, I just used regular, oil. I didn't use synthetic. And this will be my first switch to synthetic, and we'll see how that goes. And that drains out. We'll go ahead and wipe this off with a rag, the bolt here. I'll get it in the camera, and put it on my magnetic holder so I don't lose it. You can see I got all the bolts that I took off, no fear of losing them. Okay, so that oil is just about drained out. We're going to let it continue dripping, and we'll go ahead and get that oil filter off of there. And go ahead and grab the new one. The oil filter for this is actually a K&N. That's what I'm putting on there. Some people say only use the stock Honda one, but you do what you want with your bike. I'll do what I want with mine. I fumble with this. The part number for the K&N filter is K&N-204. There's kind of a little plastic cover on there. And a little nut on the back. So here, see what size it is. It looks like 17 millimeter. And then, it makes it a little easier if you want to get it off. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my extension, because I have a Can-Am on there now. Down there. You can actually, I don't know if you can see that. And it comes right off. It's just kind of starting to pump a little oil there. To be expected. And I'll take it off the rest of it with my hand. And there it goes. She's a gusher. Oh, and I'm going to wrap this up in a plastic bag. It's pretty hot. Just kind of let that drain out for a minute. I'll wipe off my hands. Oil pan here. And then pretty much you just reverse the order. And while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take off the little plastic on the filter here. And I am going to put some oil inside the filter here. Some people will say not to do that because it doesn't really matter, but I like a little bit of peace of mind knowing there's some oil in there when I start the bike up, so that I don't actually get a pocket of air running through my oil lines and starving the system for oil. Since it's going on sideways, you really can't just fill it up all the way, otherwise you're just going to be dumping oil out and back into your pan. So while let's continue to drain here, open up this. I said earlier, I'm going to use Redline oil. If you don't like it, whatever. Use what you want in your bike, I'll use what I want in mine. And I'm going to fill up the oil filter just a little bit here to keep going. You can kind of see it starting to gurgle in there. And then I like to rotate the filter around to make sure it gets all in the media. And this could take a couple minutes. It's probably actually the most time I take here in the oil change is just making sure this is all saturated with oil. Kind of turn it a little bit, and you'll find that it'll, excuse me, I just burped there, but you'll find that it'll kind of soak in a little bit, and this isn't actually soaking in as much as the last one. That's okay. So I got the filter here. I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to put a little bit around the O-ring on the filter. This makes it a little easier to get the filter off so it doesn't just get stuck on there. I'm pretty sure from the factory they just spin it on there dry, and that's why they're such a bear to get off. And locate where it goes here. Go ahead and rotate the camera up a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And spin it back on. Make sure you don't cross thread it. It's just kind of hard to do, but hey, it happens. And it's on there. So I'm just going to kind of keep turning it with my hand. You really don't need a tool to tighten it. It should just be hand tight. Okay, so I can keep turning it with my hand until it's pretty tight on there, hand tight. I'm good to go. That's about not good enough. Just a little nudge with the tool here. I only went probably about another 3 millimeters with the wrench. So here we go. Still kind of dripping a little bit of oil there. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off and let this drain, and have a couple sips of soda.